What's up everybody, Mike here. I wanted to make a quick video today about why all the reasons driving a manual transmission car is awesome. So recently I made a video about all the reasons why it can suck, but luckily there's a lot more reasons why it's great than why it's bad. So anyway, number one is that in the United States at least, it has a rare factor. Very, very few cars sold here are manuals. So in the US, you kind of get like bonus car guy points if you drive a manual transmission car. You know, everyone's like, oh, you drive an automatic, blah, 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 which there's no reason for that. I've said many times, it doesn't matter what kind of car you drive, but it is neat to have something that's a little bit more rare and road closed than what everyone else is driving. All right, so going along with that same point, it's also a security system in the United States. There are multiple instances you see on the local news about, you know, thieves try to steal a car and they can't because it's a manual. It's hilarious actually. These guys that think they're badass are going to steal somebody's car and then they can't get driving because they don't even know how to drive a manual. I think that's hilarious. And you know, it's just the best story I ever heard was like an 80-year-old grandma, not that she got her car stolen, but they tried to steal her car. She got out of the car, you know, they held a gun to her head. She gets out of the car, they get in, and they sat there for an hour until the police, well, not an hour, but they sat there. She called the police, and by the time the police showed up, they didn't even move the car 3 feet. They can't get it going. So I thought that was hilarious, and then of course they all went to jail, which was awesome. So definitely a very cool thing that it's an added little security feature in the United States at least. Another big reason that a lot of people overlook these days because automatics are so popular is that the manual transmission is still cheaper and often more reliable. You know, the automatic transmissions almost always, believe it or not, on most cars, even on cars that you don't even know that a manual transmission version existed, the automatic is still an optional extra. Like if you look on the little option sheet, it's extra money to buy an automatic transmission in a lot of cars. So it's definitely still cheaper, and when I say more reliable, that's usually true as well. You know, manual transmission cars just tend to have a lot less problems, even still today. Now, it's not as bad as it was. Modern day automatics, and for some time now, have been super reliable. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to just say that they're bad just because I drive a manual. But in a lot of instances, they are more simple. They tend to be more reliable, especially for modifications and things like that. Usually they are a more reliable platform to use. So that's definitely a very cool thing as well that a lot of people overlook. All right, and then the last one here on my list, and the most important in my opinion, is driver engagement. Driving a manual, at least in my opinion, is the most fun way to drive a car. It still is. Just having that very mechanical experience with your car, because modern day cars especially have millions of different things going on behind the scenes that the driver isn't aware of. So when you still have the chance to do something yourself, it's very gratifying. When you hit that perfect heel-toe downshift, or you're just really on a roll through corners on a great back road and everything's going perfectly, and you know, you're doing it and you know that you're doing it, it's just very satisfying. It's very fun to know that, and you can pretend like you're a race car driver and that you're an expert and you're just banging off gears. It's you know, it's fun. It's just very, very fun to drive. It's a very satisfying experience when you just are out there having fun with a manual transmission car and knowing that like you're doing more activity than just flicking a paddle or something like that. It is definitely a little bit more engaging than that. But anyway, so those are some of the reasons why I think driving a manual car is awesome, and there's tons of other ones, but I wanted to keep the video relatively short. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Always appreciate it. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day.